Just a quick one. So I want to just tell you something that I've experienced. Obviously, my background is the motor trade, and I left school, did my qualifications, became a technician, worked for main dealers, and I've worked for second-hand car dealers as well over the years. And also before that, I did motorsport. My friend was selling a car, and they've had the car from almost new, and it's a great car. It's a solid car, and I said to them, why don't you try Motorway.com? Because I've seen it advertised everywhere, and it seems that Motorway is like meant to be like a really good way of getting a bit more money for your vehicle. And Motorway is also claiming that you know, they get the best bids for the vehicles. Now, what's happened is my friend has sold the vehicle. Somebody came out to collect it and said that there was oil on the engine. Bearing in mind this is not a new car and is an older car, so not necessarily a proper oil leak. Now, I know this car. I know it really well. I've been underneath it. It doesn't drop oil anywhere at all. It's never dropped oil. And also, this is the best thing, there is a piece of tape on a pipe. So therefore, he needed £1,500 off the car. Now, he was asked to show where this piece of tape was and the oil, and couldn't, but wanted £1,500. So then now my friend has to go and start all over again. And this is what these people who are bidding on these cars are doing, because they know that the reason why general public are on there is because, one, they want to sell their car fast, and two, because they don't want to mess around with messers, con artists, all that kind of stuff. They're hoping that with Motorway, there's more of a chance that you're going to get a decent buyer. Now, being in the motor trade, I have seen it all, and I've sold a lot of cars over the years for other people. I've seen every scam under the book. I have seen cars with fake logbooks that turned out to be stolen, with fake VIN numbers. I have seen people offer like Irish or counterfeit Scottish money, counterfeit euros. I have seen stuff, some really crazy stuff, cars that have been like dangerous, full-on write-offs and all sorts of stuff. And also, like, on the selling side of things, people just trying to con you. You know, they're all, what's your best price, mate? Well, the best price would be twice as much, but obviously I'm not going to pay that. The other one is a classic, I'll tell you what, mate, and they always offer you like half the value or 2/3 of the value. I'll come today, mate, I'll come today. I'll pay you cash, One, I don't want your cash. I just want a solid bank transfer. And two, I don't want to be scammed, and I don't want to pay. If I was advertising it for that much money, then that's what I want to get. So a lot of people are just fed up with the con artists and the scammers. You've only got to look on eBay. I was looking at cars recently, and there's a whole account with nice vehicles that are just that little bit too cheap, and it's clearly a scam account, but it's allowed to operate. They've got like 500 cars on there, and they're lifted photos of other cars that have been sold. It's just a minefield. The motor trade is a minefield. There's a lot of good people, but there's also a lot of not so good people. So going back to motorway.com, obviously I've done a bit of digging because I wanted to know really what's the background behind that. And what I've discovered is, looking at Trustpilot, there are a lot of good reviews, but you've got to take Trustpilot with a pinch of salt as well. There's a lot of good reviews, so it seems like they are doing fairly well, but then there's a whole lot of bad ones. And what's really interesting, there's one particular one that caught my eye, that the person was offered, guess what, £1,500 less, and that was because the washer jet wasn't squirting water far enough up the windscreen. So that warrants a £1,500 reduction in the price that they bid. There's loads. There's literally loads on there of people offering way under what they offered. And I think this is the problem. I think that when you go to auction, if you're a trader and you're buying at a car auction, unless that car, you pay something called indemnity when you buy that car, and that indemnity covers you for things like the car being stolen, the car being an insurance write-off, various other things. So if you get the car and it's just like, this is a complete and utter con, you have some recourse, but only slightly. If the car's got a mechanical defect, that's on you. That really is on you. If it's not quite as clean as you thought it was, that's also on you. And if the car's got a misfire or something like that and you haven't checked it, that's all on you. And motor traders know that risk, and they still buy at auction because 90% of the time you'll get a good car. And it's tough. It's tough for traders. But Motorway, basically, the bids that are put out there, they have no legal obligation, the people that are bidding, to actually buy that car for that price. And so this is where it seems to be going a little bit wonky. Some of the people that are putting the bids on and coming out for the cars some of the people that are coming out for the vehicles aren't the people that put the bids on. They are like a third party. So not Motorway, not the dealer. They're going out and they're collecting these cars. Now, call me cynical, but I see a model there, a business model, which is, hey, I'll go and pick your car up for you. I'll jump on a train, I'll get a coach, I'll go in the old megabus or whatever and go and pick up a car for you. And I will charge you X amount, let's say it's 200 quid. But if I can chip the price down, I want 50% of whatever I chip it down. So if I go for 1,500 quid, I want 750 quid of that money that I've chipped down. Now, I'm not saying that this is definitely happening, but this is a model that I could see that might be happening. And it seems like time and time again. Now, I also believe that there's probably people that are putting their cars on that aren't everything that they're supposed to be either. And like, I remember seeing a car once and it looked mint, looked perfect. And when I looked, there were two telltale things. On the seatbelt, the chrome had gone funny, which is very, very odd. You never see that. And the other thing was the interior. It was a Mark IV Golf. The interior mirror, the sort of the chrome that they put on the back of the glass to make it a mirror had started to come out, and the car had been flood damaged, and it was coming out of a very well-known big used car place that don't exist anymore. And I said, "Oh, this car's flood damaged," and they were like, "No, we just bought it, and there's nothing on anywhere to say that that's what's happened. It's not on any insurance register." So those cars do exist. They're out there, and I mean that dealer, they didn't know that it had been underwater at all. So I get it from the dealer point of view. But what this video is what I'm trying to get at is, Motorway, you need to vet the people that are bidding on the cars, and if somebody is consistently paying under what they've bid, then there should be some recourse from you guys to say, hey, you've chipped every single car that you've gone and bought by X amount. Unfortunately, you're not allowed on this system anymore. Or they get a rating. So they get a rating based on how much of that bid that they pay. The other thing is, why not have an indemnity? So if those people are bidding, surely they should pay an indemnity, like a car auction, and then it's up to them, isn't it? Once they put that bid in, that's what they're paying. Because it seems like at the moment, this is just a free-for-all, getting the general public's vehicles off them, and basically people are abusing it. The other side to it is, so let's say my friend had put their car on, and there were, let's say, I'm just putting hypothetical numbers out. Let's say there was a bid at 20, a bid at 21, and a bid at 25, right? So they might go for the 25, but that 25 person is going to chip it 3 grand. Or you can go for the person at 21 grand, and you can see that 100% of the time they give the full amount for that car. Well, you'd accept that bid, wouldn't you? Surely. And then you know you're getting... I mean, for me, I'd rather, if I put something out on and sold it, and it was like, I know that this particular buyer is definitely going to give me the money, then I would probably go with that, rather than just waste everybody's time to then be chipped on selling the car. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because I just feel like the whole point in the car buying thing is that the car selling option is that you don't have to deal with idiots and bartering and messing around and coming to some sort of deal. The whole point, I thought, in Motorway was these dealers bid on your car and then they come and pay that. So anyway, I might have some of this wrong. I don't know. Put in the comments what you think. Maybe I'm being completely unreasonable. Motorway, tell us, like, what have I got wrong? Have I got anything wrong there? Would you say, do you have an opinion, or is there something that you maybe you have a policy that I'm unaware of? What do you do for the people that, just like my friend, has just had his time wasted by somebody that couldn't even show him what he was chipping 1,500 quid for? It's an absolute joke. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not here just to bash on Motorway, but I also equally want to protect car enthusiasts like myself that want to sell their car, and they might have friends that want to sell cars, and yeah, people need to know that there's no legal obligation for these people to pay what they bid on the car. So please reach out, Motorway, tell me what you think. I'd love to know. And yeah, if you've had an experience with, you know, any of these fast selling platforms, please put it in the comments. Tell us. I'm interested to know. So yeah, please like and subscribe. It's a tiny channel. I don't even know if this video will even get seen, but I feel like I should put it out there. So yeah, have a good one. God bless. Bye.